The thing that impacted me the most was the love that the kids had for one another and us. They showed so much compassion and love. It's amazing.
God revealed to me His unconditional, satisfying love. No matter the opinions of others, I am always accepted in the arms of Christ.
What impacted me the most was, I guess, how happy they all were with what they had.
I think before the trip, I thought that being a Christian was just having like a personal relationship with Christ. It's all about having a personal faith in God. But I realized that every Christian is supposed to go out and fulfill the Great Commission, which means we're all supposed to make disciples. It's not just some people are called to evangelize and some people are called to ministry. It's, all of us as a whole are called to make disciples, wherever we are.
Jesus basically showed me this week of how grace can work in someone's life. Not necessarily showing me how to live a perfect life, but to lean on God in the rough times and on the hard times, even when I just don't know what I'm doing that day.
Before I went on the mission trip, I always thought that Jesus was just telling us, just act like you know me and follow in some of my ways and you'll go to heaven with me. But whenever I went on the trip, I realized that it's not just about saying, I'm a Christian. It's about actually making disciples of everyone and trying to show all of His glories through everything that He's done.
Before going on this trip, I always thought that I had to go to another country to do the real mission work. On the trip, I realized that the mission work that we do is where we are at. And that mission work isn't just about the poor, it's about making disciples.
God really showed me in the Dominican what true happiness is, and that's Jesus. And He showed me that true happiness doesn't come from technology or anything special like that, but it's from His love, and that's what I really like.
God really showed me that I need to trust Him, and not just in the small things, but in the big things as well, just like they trust Him with everything in the Dominican.
A lot of people ask me why I continue to invest my time, money, and heart into these trips. And all I really have to say to them is that there's something about walking down a dirt road and seeing a kid covered in bugs with no food in his system, scars on his face, yet who runs up to you and leaps into your arms, loves you unconditionally. That makes me realize that we do live in a world full of deceit, anger, and sin, but we have the ability to give our hearts to a God who's redeeming, loving, and forgiving 7 times 70.
God revealed to me the true essence of joy and what it means to have joy through any circumstance in your life that may happen. In order to obtain this joy, you must put away all worldly distractions and just really focus on the hope that you have in Jesus.
Making disciples is more than just telling somebody about God. It's about growing a relationship with them. It's about helping them grow in Christ.
In the Dominican, the biggest thing God taught me was to be able to open myself up to my friends.
I learned that you should be thankful for what you have because down there they have so little.
Though the people don't have anything to show what any material objects, they value love and people more than anything, showing us as Americans how selfish we are.
God not only showed me that it doesn't matter about the material things, but that as long as you trust in Him, no matter your fears, everything will be okay.
I learned not to take stuff like little things for granted, such as having a bed to sleep in, air conditioning, and food. That's getting to me even though we didn't have that in the trip, we were provided food, but I like to eat a lot, and that the food that we were provided, it was enough to fill you up, but I like to eat and just keep eating, and that wasn't enough to fill me up. And that's my adventure with God. I didn't have enough of Him, so through the trip I just kept digging and digging and digging and found more. And that's how my relationship started with God from the trip.
Through this trip, God really taught me about selflessness, to really push me past my comfort zone and to actually put my faith into action and start talking about Him regardless of how I feel or what situation I'm in.
This year on the Dominican trip, through the lives I interacted with, I truly got to experience what God's joy means.
God really showed me that He's so much better than
my sin. His love is so much deeper.